let's talk about value. All right, let's talk about value today. So value is kind of the next step in a drawing. Like you might start with a gesture and then add your basic shapes and make corrections. And then when you're trying to make a realistic drawing, you're going to add value to it to make it look a little bit more realistic. So value, you think about value all the time. It's the darkness or lightness of a color of a material. So everything has a natural value when you start with it, and then you can make things darker and you can make things lighter. And we can talk about it with lots of different materials, but all we're going to talk about it today is pen and pencil. So pencils come in a lot of different types. So this is like a regular HB pencil. So just make you a little chart here. So if I shade with this is HB is in the middle of your darkness of lead. That's actually probably a little bit darker than HB, but we're going to go with it for the example. So then you can buy pencils, or I can press down harder to get it a darker color, and you can press all the way up, or you can buy up to an 8B pencil, okay? B is for the boldness, blackness of the lead. I'm not sure, but we can look that up. Anyways, it's going to get darker this way, and you can buy pencils that get darker, or you can press down with your pencil. But I mean, this is about as dark as I can get it, and you can buy something that goes darker than that. On this direction, you would go H is for hardness of the lead, 4H, 6H, and so on. And this is lighter. Okay, I don't find myself using the lighter lead pencils as much because I like to shade my drawings and have a wide range of values from like 2H to 8B. But this is important for people who draw that then they scan into the computer and do digital art, or they watercolor and they don't want to see the pencil in the end. So there is a purpose for the lighter lead pencils. They're just not something I use a lot. So these are kind of the ones that I use. And then if I'm doing a pencil drawing that has a wide range of values, you want a wide range of these pencils. If you're just sketching and then you're going to add paint or marker or something else to it, then you would just stick to one of these, like 2H, HB, 2B. Those are kind of like middle of the road pencils that you can do a little bit of value with it. You can do a little bit of light sketching. They're just your perfect Goldilocks situation. Now, if you're going to do a value, one thing you can do actually is a value scale, and you can do it with pencil or pen. So you would start out with as light. You can just test out your pencils this way: light value, medium dark. You just try to get darker and darker. I always like the wider range of values you have, the better, more realistic your drawing is going to be. So including the white of the paper, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I probably could get one lighter. So maybe I have 8 values there. I always say aim for 9 and you'll be successful with 5 to 7. But you want to shoot for a really wide range. And then you can do a wide range of value with ink too. It's just instead of shading, this is shading when it's like trying to make the pencil mark smooth, you're hatching. So you leave more white space. And then the closer the pen marks come together, the darker the value will appear to be. That's regular hatching. You can even do cross hatching, which is where you crisscross lines. 2 different techniques, but the cross hatching will get you even darker values. Okay, so you can, when you get a new material, you can do a value scale with it. You can do it with colors, but that's a whole other lesson. Value related to color. Colors all have value as well, so we can do that another day. So when you're sketching, when you want to practice your values, do a value scale. Look at what your pencils say. Are they HB, 2B, 8B? You would be able to tell. It's super dark. What do you like using? And then when you want to practice with them, draw something really simple, and you can invent it. You don't have to look at it. So this is a sphere, and then I have my light coming from over here, pointing at it. This is going to be the light part. This is going to be a shadow, and there's going to be a cast shadow on the table. You can look up pictures online if you need ideas too. Like you can, or you can just get a ball and shine a desk light on it. So you can start by adding your value to this invented object. And this is just my medium light gray. But then it's going to be darker on this side because the light is on the opposite side. So this shape is blocking this side of the ball, so I need to darken that. And then I can put in my shadow. Well, this is where it's really important to actually look at a ball. I should have suggested that from the get-go. I know that the shadow will make a long, skinny oval shape, but you can look at it in real life and add that. Now, a lot of times here, you'll have like a light gray. It won't be bright white highlight, but it'll be reflected light from the table or the surface it's sitting on. So it might go, and you can look at this in your own example, dark here, and then slightly lighter on the back side. The other thing you have to think about with value is contrast. So we want to see this ball standing out from the background. So if I color this same value as that, if I shade that the same, I'm not going to be able to tell the difference between the ball and the background. So I like to have the white background behind this sketch so that it stands out. Same thing with color. If you paint a beautiful green plant and then you go and paint the background green, the green plant isn't going to stand out anymore. So you have to keep that in mind. All right, so it should get lighter and lighter as we get to the towards that light source, that made up light source. And then it's better to start out with like a medium value and then build up because it's difficult to erase sometimes. So then I can come in and put in my darkest shadow, which is going to be on this side. I have a little bit of that reflected light. I have my highlight over here. Now, last thing, and then you got to go practice. If I have this highlight here and it makes the edge really light, talking about contrast, this is where you might want to put something behind the ball so that edge stands out. So then I could put like a little bit, because I don't want to see this outline anymore. I shouldn't see the outline. I'm trying to make it look 3D. So I shouldn't see the outline of the ball. The outline makes it look flat. So I can add a little bit of background, and then I can see the outline here too. I can lighten the outline too. But really you want that value to do the work for you. Make it look three-dimensional. So hopefully we have what appears to be a three-dimensional ball. Now you can smudge a little bit. Some people like to try that and smooth it out. That's up to you. There's a bunch of tools you can use for that too. Smudging sticks that you can get at the art supply store if you like. And then at the very end you might come in and brighten that highlight up a little bit. And I think that's pretty good for 5 minutes. Give it a try. You can do it with cones, cylinders, any simple geometric shape where you have a strong light source pointed at it, and then you're trying to take it from a flat drawing to a volume using value. That's the goal. So set one of these are the easiest objects to find around the house. Put a strong light source on it, and then look at how the value is affected, and then sketch it out. Show me online. I can't wait to see it. Thanks for coming to 5 Minute Art.